Glad to have you join us again. You're still on To The Press, reaching you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. We've now been joined by our guest, Ade Mario Emmanuel, who's the director of CONYSSA. You're welcome to the studio today.
Thank you so much. Good morning.
Well, it's good to have you join us this
Good morning. Good morning.
And belated birthday celebrations to you.
Oh, thank you so much. Wow. Thank you.
All right, so viewers, this is also a reminder that our phone lines are open for you to now call in and make your contributions known. All right, so let's begin with one of the hottest story on the papers this morning. On the Daily Sun, we have tough times ahead as NLC, TUC begin indefinite strike next week. They vow to ground the nation, and reps are telling them to shelve the plan. Not telling, pleading that they should shelve the plan. What do you make of this issue on ground?
Well, firstly, we must understand that Nigeria is our collective country and our collective responsibility to do all it takes within our power to make sure that we have a peaceful country. But truth be told, our leaders have not been forthcoming the way they should respond to issues that have to do with national importance. From the day of swearing in of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu as the president of this country, where he announced that subsidy is gone, up to this moment, the issue of palliative and alternative for Nigerians, not just the civil servant now, Nigerians in totality, nothing has been done to get the people going effectively. And now the palliative in question, a community, for example, I will use my own community as an example, where 14 bags of rice was sent to, has more than 10,000 populations. Has more than 10,000 populations. And you are giving them 14 bags of rice as palliative. Does that solve our problems? No. Some of us has actually advised and supported NLC and TUC that our refineries should be the first priority. Any money you want to use to feed the people for 6 months should be. Nigerians know how to endure pains. Nigerians know how to endure hard time. It is in our nature, it is in our DNA. So it would have been good to solve our problem perpetually, not timely. So solving the problem perpetually would have paved way for younger generations that are coming. And that is where the NLC is coming on board. That if from the moment the president announced that subsidy is gone,
yes,
and up till now, nothing, no mayor, forget this palliative they say they are giving, and the 5 billion, 30 billion that was given to state, it will all end up in the pocket of politicians. In the same Ondo State, you saw a party chairman and a commissioner for women affairs exchanging blow. In the name of this palliative.
Okay.
So what we are saying is this, that for us, strike is not the best option. But we are saying that the government should rise to their sole responsibility. If the government want to go back to fuel subsidy, let them go back. Because recently we also had in the budget, in the last meeting they had, that they were also talking about the subsidy and from the budget that was presented, that fuel subsidy was in it. And the truth is this, that if fuel subsidy will be brought back, let fuel come back drastically to 150 to 200. And if you come to that, I want to tell you the burden on parents will drastically go down. And lastly, along same side, what I've discussed with some of the NLC chairmen across state, that issue of free education, primary and secondary, is very, very paramount. And cutting of school fees across all tertiary institutions, both polytechnic, NCE, and universities, that 50%, let it be cut 50%, 50-50. So this will also help to caution the pain and hardship. A lot of parents are going into criminal act to raise money to pay school fees. Are you aware that some parents will go to another person's farm to go and harvest their farm product to sell, to be able to cover up their students' school fees? Not because they wanted to do, but situation, because they don't want their children to be at home.
Okay. Okay, just before we continue in this line of education, let's quickly ask, I have two questions at the bowl. One would be, there are allegations that fuel subsidy has come back again, and how true you think that is, and do you think the fact that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu had hastily removed fuel subsidy was the wrong move? And secondly, you said Nigerians can endure hardship.
Yep.
So, and many Nigerians now are saying that, oh, perhaps we're tired. We want, you said you were made for this as the president when you were giving your campaign promises, and we expected change. And now they are saying, no, we are not used to hardship any longer. We want immediate, we want immediate cushioning of this subsidy removal. Do you think that's the reason why we are having this short-term measures being put in place, like that of giving bag of rice and the rest?
No, the truth is this, that when I say Nigerians are used to hardship and hard time, it has been time immemorial. No situation has come to this country that we have not stand the test of time. That is the truth. If you say fuel is going to 2,000 naira today, people that will buy will buy. People that will afford it will afford it.
But that's not a problem.
From here to Lagos, from Abuja to Lagos is now 25,000, 30,000 by road. Now the fact is this: before now, if you were told that from here to Lagos that you will pay 20,000, you will say God forbid. Now it has happened. We have already found ourselves in it. But the point I want to bring out is this: that yes, we were not prepared for this, because for the president to have announced that very day, some of us were believing, because for me as a person and those who were together that very day were celebrating it, believing that before his inauguration, they have put a lot of mayors in the secret on board. That immediately he made that pronouncement, they will just switch to action. That was what we were believing. But now that it has happened this way, there are two ways to eat. The first way to eat is that, number one, education is very, very paramount. Very, very paramount, and should be taken serious from all ramifications of life. And that means that the government should look into the education and see that all primary and secondary education should be free. Then tertiary education should, where they are paying 100%, it should be cut to 50%. So now the parents will not be able to know that yes, their burden has been lessened. So it will not be easier. So none of them, as civil servant, will not want to cut a kind of, they will see another civil servant money coming. They want to cut it to their side.
Okay, right, so I have a question in line with this education. Now, there's this kind of narrative being painted presently, the fact that many Nigerians are leaving the country with the syndrome called JAPA. And if they keep, the government keep educating, giving free education, and at the end of the day, Nigerians, youths especially, or maybe Nigerians as a whole, do not want to contribute to the nation's growth, rather they want to leave the country. Do you think the government should still continue in the light of providing education, especially free education to Nigerians?
The truth is this: one of the reasons why these young boys and ladies are leaving this country is because after graduating there's no job opportunity here. Because this our government so far from 1999 to date, at the course of this democracy, has not created parastatals that could employ manpower, except President Olusegun Obasanjo, who brought civil defense on board. And through the civil defense, created job opportunity. And that is one of the agencies everybody is now running to today. Now, and that was why some of us are pleading and agitating that the bill of Peace Corps should be passed, so that it is a means to create job opportunity and also engage them in those areas where police and other security agencies cannot cover. They will not be the one covering it. And it will go a very long way. Lastly, now, in terms of this same education, the free education, I want to put it to you that 95% of our political leaders today, they none of them is excluded, enjoyed free education that made them who they are today. Then why are they finding it difficult to give this younger and this present generation the same free education that they all enjoyed? And as at then, it was not fuel money. The money as at then was from agriculture. And today, how many of them are looking inward to a kind of empower the agricultural sector to bloom and make it a means of a kind of increasing the GDP is it GDP?
Yes.
GDP of our economy. And that goes a very long way. But today, none of them is ready.
All right, let's quickly take this call before we continue. Hello, good morning. You're welcome to the press. Please tell us your name and where you're calling from. Oh, I think we lost that. Well, I'm not losing sight of the current conversation about the TUC NLC strike that is ongoing, that is going to, come up on the 3rd of October. And you also mentioned palliatives. Now let's talk about, let's put our focus on that palliative for a moment, because I think one of our guests once said, a caller called in and said, why ask for palliative? It's like asking for a minute of the entirety of the things that you have at your disposal, that on the side. And on a second side, we have the issue of the federal government saying they've disbursed palliatives to the state governments. Now, we have NLC, TUC trying to ground the nation, and insisting that they're going to go on a strike, maybe looking at it from the federal level. So, have you seen it from the angle of what have they done when it comes to the state level as well?
Now, firstly, at the level of states, you even see some states augmenting what the federal government has given, because knowing fully well the capacity of the numbers of citizens in that state with what the federal government brought. If they want to dispatch the palliative, it will not go a long way to solve the problem. Now, in same vein, now you also have to understand that when this palliative were being disbursed, any state, it is our system. Any state where it is APC, know it fully well that the APC leaders will be the one to champion that cause. Anywhere it is PDP, know it fully well that it is the PDP that will champion that cause. And it will end up going to those parts. Now, I want to also help you, my dear sister, that when all this palliative issue has been going, the Nigerian youth has an umbrella body that governs the entire Nigerian youth, which is the National Youth Council. And they are the ones suffering more of the challenges of this fuel subsidy palaver. I want to tell you up till now, that umbrella body has not been invited by the government and asked, what are we going to do for you to caution this hardship? Knowing also fully well that this same set of persons are the ones that are graduate that don't have job yet. Some of them are managing petty job. Some of them have ended up becoming Okada rider and taxi drivers. Are you with me? Yes. The same government has not looked inward and see how this youth could be assisted. And also knowing fully well that these youth also have leaders, former National Youth Council leaders who are part of APC government. Persons like Benduro Toye, Murtala Mohammed Gamji, and co. All these persons are part of the council, and these people are close to the government. So these are people that the government can easily call. Just within a twinkle of an eye, they have all arrived. And with these people engaging other fellow youth, we really assist and help in cautioning this issue of hard time that the fuel subsidy palaver has got. But the NLC, as the case may be, their cause and the fight they are fighting is not just for the present. Know fully well that the issue of palliative will not go a long way, because within 6 months it would have become a past story. But the fact remains that if 80% of these resources are pushed into economy, are pushed into agriculture, is pushed into bringing back to life our refineries, I want to tell you, if fuel price can come back to 150, 200, Nigerians will forget all these pains that we've experienced in the past few months.
Let me quickly come here. I know they said in this part of the country, what goes up never comes down.
Exactly.
Especially prices that goes up do not come down. Let me ask you now this question. I know you said that you are not in support of the strike that is going to be embarked. Bring me to point if I'm not right. And also we have OPSN has also said they are not in support. That is Organized Private Sector of Nigeria. I said they are not in support of the strike. And you have laid an allegation at the fact that the federal government has failed to engage some certain people like the NYC and others. And the Labour too have complained that, well, they've not seen any way forward as to the meetings they've had. So what best way do you think they can take home their demands, since the government seems to not paying attention to
help you, ma. Even the NLC, the TUC, and some of all these stakeholders, most of them are just holding position that they don't know how to make judicious use of that power that they have. 80% of those that are working in National Assembly, are they not civil servants? It is just for them, all the civil servants there, not to come there. Because that is where law is being made and enacted. The Nigerian police, army, all of them, the SSS, are they not civil servants? Is it not affecting them? But they cannot talk. Because of their vow of allegiance, because of the oath they took when they got that job. But the fact is this, that as at 2-3 years ago, the same salary that we are taking as at then is still the same salary we are taking now. And things are skyrocketed. And these people, and that is why the issue of bribe will not stop. A situation whereby in the office where you are approving a project of about 5 million for somebody who will just come and serve for 4 years and go, and you that you are signing that document, your salary is just 150,000, and you now think that you will not cut corner to be able to make more money. No, it is disheartening. This is where our problem is coming from. For the NLC, what we expected from them, engage the civil society, not like the protest they did last time where they went to bring down the gate of the National Assembly. That was obvious. It was a hijacked protest. So what this should have been done is that seek a meeting with the Senate President, seek a meeting with the Speaker, and tell them holistically from the depth of their heart that our plight is not for our personal self, but the general citizens of the country, that this thing, join us to fight this cause. It will go a long way. When you are not drawing them closer to the fight and they are joining you, most of these protests, it is just the civil servant alone. Now, those political leaders, technically drag them into the process too. Let them come and talk at the course of the process. Pick words and messages from what they say and hold it and use it as an instrument. So these are things we expected from the intellectual angle. For us, the way we will work, we believe in engagement. We believe in writing and proper follow-up until you do that particular thing. But this you must know, man, that if we are saying that we should go on strike, it will bring down the economy. A lot of things will be left undone.
But the economy is already down.
Yeah, it's already, so it will worsen the downness of the economy.
Apparently, the aim is to ground the.
Yes. Now, but you must also know that these political leaders, it does not affect them a dime. As you are doing it, you see them flying outside the country and go and hold a very big party, spending money in dollars. In dollars. So it is painful that we found ourselves at this point. But the way forward is very simple. The NLC should look inward again and seek to meet with, in fact, convoke a meeting with all the state governors, with the senators, precisely the Speaker, House of Rep, and the Senate President.
Yes. Beg you hold your thoughts while we take this call.
Hello, good morning. Good morning, Elder Zion. Elder Zion, good morning. Are you there?
Can you turn the volume of your TV set?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you very much. Alhassan and Victoria.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you.
Yes, we can hear you. Go ahead.
See, I thank God for the analyst. He's doing a good job. Mr. Emmanuel, God bless you.
Thank you so much. Amen.
He's doing a good job. The NLC, Nigerian Labour Congress, going on strike, will not have this matter. At all, in the state, it will worsen the situation. They will inflict more difficulties on Nigerians.
Yeah.
Worse than what we are experiencing. They should back down, engage the government to discuss this issue. Secondly, the problem witnessing is not the NLC, it's not anybody but the government. The insincerity of the government to do the right things. For example, Nigerians have been asking this government, where is the money budgeted to rehabilitate the refineries. And that work was not done. And the money was collected. Go and bring back that money and prosecute to those people.
Okay.
Again, there are laws where oil is produced. Go and figure out those goals. Oil theft is going on. Nigeria is not meeting allocation with OPEC. When all these things are done, okay, look at what is happening in custom. Has anybody taken a look at it? There's very much money in custom that is now coming to government. Immigration, Nigeria Post Authority, your government stand up and bring back all those money by locking up those walls. You see, we will get enough of money to prosecute our businesses. And as he's saying, if government can do half of what I'm saying now, fuel will come to 100 naira a liter. So I wish you people Mr. Emmanuel continue with your work. God bless you.
Thank you so much. God bless you too, Elder Zion. He said a lot. I don't know if you want to comment on that.
No, the truth is that she has said it all. Until we begin to do things genuinely in this country, our leaders, some of us have seen things whereby a contract will be given, somebody will just sit on the money, and this particular project is meant to elevate some set of person. Man, should I put it to you that in 2020, President Muhammadu Buhari approved 75 billion for Nigerian Youth Trust Fund. Not until this year, just 10% of that money was disbursed. Just 10%. What business can you use 350,000 to do in this present economy? It's not enough to even get a shop.
Is already something else. In fact, so will sustain the business.
So it is just pathetic. Now, most of those, 80% of those that got that money, they use it to eat. And the money is gone. And I will tell you, in the next 5-6 years, they will start demanding the money to be paid back. Because it is a grant. And the purpose of that money was to raise good number of young person to become business tycoons, business owner, because it was meant for entrepreneur. The young youth who are into entrepreneurship, 75 billion. And per year, it's supposed to be 25 billion per year. 2021, 2022, 2023. 2021, we never even perceived a dime out of that money. 2022 came and gone without perceiving a dime from that money. So what we are saying is this, that until our government becomes responsive on their assigned duties in this country, then we begin to get it right as a country that we call ours.
All right, let's
okay, but you said something about being responsive, and earlier you said something about the protest that was done last time and it was hijacked. You know, recently I went to the gas filling station, and I noticed during this when the fuel subsidy was removed, the gas price came down to about 700 naira in Abuja, and in some states to about 650 or 550 thereabouts. But recently, as of last week, it was about 950 naira, and they said it might even get up to 1,000 naira. You know, they said Nigerians who are hungry will become angry. So do you perceive, if the NLC embark on this strike, which they are saying they are definitely going to embark, do you perceive
hijacking is going to be there because people are hungry, so any government vehicle they see on the road, they will attack it. That is constant. It is already
so an hungry man is an angry man.
That's the truth. People are already angry, and any slight mistake for police to interface, people are already angry with the police because of their level of manhandling issues in this country. Some persons are just waiting for opportunity to strike, to express their grievances. And that is why for us, from the security angle, we are advising, we are not compelling that the NLC should continue to push, but they should put more technical approach. And that is where they should begin to engage heads of both the lawmaker and the executive that have to now do with the National Assembly and the presidency. Look at one or two persons that you feel this person are ready, just like the Minister of Interior is doing. You can see that if you register for international passport, you can get it under 1 week.
Yes.
But before now, you wait for 3-4 months.
And pay exorbitant money.
And pay a very huge amount of money. So these are the kind of persons we want in government. And we are saying it that His Excellency Honorable Olubumi Tujojo is doing excellently well as a minister, and he's a young person. These are the kind of people we want.
Okay, so basically, because you're a security expert, we cannot ignore the fact that we have to discuss the Zamfara incident, what happened in Zamfara State. And there's the back and forth between Zamfara State governor and the federal government over they negotiated, they did not negotiate. We have evidence that they're negotiating, we do not have evidence. We did not negotiate, back and forth stories. And then this headline that says FG insecurity, FG boosts army operations with attack helicopters. Yeah. What do you make with these more equipments that have been added? That's the same way we thought Tucano Jet was going to do the magic, and in the space of 3 days we will not hear of insecurity anymore. And what is also this back and forth between the state government and the federal government over these discussions? And some people are also saying that the state government is acting nonchalant to have even made an international trip, regardless of the incidents that had happened in the states.
Firstly, I want to condole with the families that their young girls and boys were kidnapped in Zamfara Federal University, Guso. It is painful because these are youths that we are praying for and we are looking after as young persons, and then be kidnapped on Friday morning around 2 a.m. to 3, and it took the security agencies time before they could switch to action, because for them their explanation is that if they go after the kidnappers as a den, they might end up killing the victims that were kidnapped. So because of that, they have to allow them go. But the fact is that for the report we are getting from Zamfara, there are political tussles around the whole of this scenario. There's a particular territory where these kidnappers are. The question is this: if the federal government feel they are no more trusting the state government in fighting these activities of kidnapping and banditry in Zamfara, why not arrange external machinery from Abuja, give a signal to the CP, to the brigade commander there, to the commander of civil defense and other security agencies within the state, and the director of the SSS, we are coming for an operation so day. This is a national directive. All we just need you to do, prepare the ground for us. The CP knows. You see, every head of an agency knows a very loyal worker around them. So within those officers, within the armpit of the CP, the army in Zamfara State, they know those that can actually execute perfectly. Also assuring them that after the assignments, you are going to be properly taken care of. You see, enumeration goes a very long way to boost morale. Let them know that the federal government will take care of you. They will do everything possible. They will flush out those guys.
Okay, let me ask.
So let me just round up. Okay. Now, this will help to bring an end to what is happening in Zamfara. But yet, the question is this: within that territory where this thing is happening, what is so special in that bush? Why that particular territory? Are you aware there is mining happening within that territory?
Yes, there are lots of...
Even the security agencies are afraid to enter that place.
The illegal mining. There are lots of controversies around Zamfara State.
The Chinese who are mining there are paying dues to the bandits in millions.
But these are alleged cases.
Yeah. No, that is, if they are not doing that, there should have been more kidnapped than the citizens. Why are the kidnappers going to kidnap when they know that the white man has the money to pay more than a Nigerian farmer, more than a civil servant? I cannot see somebody who can afford to give me 1 billion and I'll go and kidnap somebody that I'll be begging his family to come and give me 1 million. So if they are not doing normal settlement, there is no way that they will enter inside that bush and come out And Nigerians will enter there, they will kidnap Nigerians.
All right, let's quickly take this call. Hello, good morning.
Hello?
Good morning. Please turn down the volume of your TV set or step away from it.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning. You're welcome to the press. Please tell us your name and where you're calling from.
Okay, ma'am. Good morning,
Please, you
ma'am.
need to step away from your TV set so we can...
I was hearing your conversation with the man that was in the
Studio. Please go ahead.
Yes, I buy the idea of not negotiating with the bandits because I have not.
Okay, so I was going to ask of course, the role intelligence plays in this whole issue of insecurity in Zamfara State, because now I was at the 31st HOLAF meeting that accommodated about 54 countries recently by the NDLEA hosting the occasion, and we saw the lots NDLEA has been able to done in terms of prosecution, convictions, and the rest of it, and the likes, as to those who deal in drug crime and transnational crimes at large, and they hold the sources to intelligence. Now, in Zamfara State, there's allegation ongoing that people are scared for their lives. They know these things. They know what is happening in that community. They know the people, but they are scared to give information. Because even if they give them to the police.
There were even conversations that they had pre-informed them that something like that was going to happen. So there are intelligence reports that it was going to happen, but nothing was done about it.
You see, I will also help you here. The legal advisor of CONYSSA, that is Coalition of Nigerian Youth on Security and Safety Affairs, were killed right in the presence of the wife in his house. My own organization ahead. The legal advisor was killed right in the presence of the wife. He has actually escaped from the house, but knowing fully well that my wife is there and my children, he now came back and he was killed. Now where we are heading to is this, that when we talk about intelligence, how ready is the Nigerian government ready to fund intelligence? How ready they are? That people will put their life on the front line and you end up, if I tell you, if not for army and DSSS, these are the only persons that are even at the level of the army, the high profile army that you can confide on and give information. Because most of all these people, they are already selling out. Because so you are being paid 85,000 at the end of 30 days, and somebody is ready to give you 10 million just overnight, and you can see that 10 million will change the entire story of your family.
I see.
So this person very long way. So and that is why you see most of the army selling out, the police selling out, and other security agencies in that sense. Everybody is looking for how to make money.
But do we begin to justify this?
No, we should not justify it. But the fact remains that our Nigerian government should wake up on issues of giving enumeration to some of these officers that have put their life on the front line, because they have family. If anything happened to them after 2 years, nobody cares on what happened to their children and to their families anymore. And today we have a lot of the victims. I want to put it to you, I saw a young girl and I was engaging her, and I ended up discovering that her dad was killed in Brunei as a soldier, and the mother does not have the capacity to cater for her school fees, and she's out there for runs. And I engaged her and I was able to direct her to one of my board members who is not paying her school fees. Now, the dad died at the cost of protecting Nigeria. The same Nigeria has failed the seed of same man. And you think that this kind of lady, she have opportunity to become a criminal, to withhold that same country that she will not do? She will definitely do. So we are saying that Nigeria as a country, as a government, that your personnel that are fighting there in Zamfara should be encouraged financially, should be empowered, boost their morale with good money. Take them outside the country, let them go and enjoy 2-3 weeks and come back and see if they will not do better than they are doing. If if any of our soldiers should travel outside this country, you see them doing professionally well. Why can't they do well and better in their own country?
Well, so many failures in the hands of the government, failure at the security, failure in governance, failure in policies. Well, I don't know how we're going to begin to hold the government accountable, but let's really move on from this issue. Let's take the story on Ondo, where we have court stops impeachment on Ondo deputy governor. And another, it's right that they say court can stop your impeachment process. Ondo speaker tells Ayedatiwa, I know you're from Ondo State, so just tell us what.
Now, the first thing you must understand is this: who wrote to the House of Assembly? Who raised the allegation? The governor has not been on ground. The governor has not sat down to study document of 3 months plus that he was not on ground. Does the governor as acting, the deputy governor who acted as acting governor, did he really have that power? Was that power given to him to act as acting governor? The deputy governor could not do anything for 3 months plus that the governor was not on ground. That is the truth. Now, if you are raising issue of misappropriation, gross misconduct, who approved such a fund to him? That fund that you are alleging him of misappropriating, what purpose is that fund meant for? That is one aspect of it. Now, why is the House of Assembly taking it too special as a fight against the deputy governor? So now it is your duty that if there's an allegation that comes to your table, either from the governor, not from anybody, invite this person in question and interrogate him. Now, if he refuses to come, then you cannot make the normal move where you set up a committee. Like even in the National Assembly, in the Senate and Rep, they do set up a committee. They invite heads of agency to come and answer queries. They can do that. Now, 11 out of 26 signed the document. 11 out of, I have the document with me, out of 26. Now, the point now is this, that the deputy governor have to run to the court and said they want to embark on an illegal impeachment of my person. And the court gave an order. Now, the same lawmakers want to break the law. Then the question is, do we have a country? If the court is saying, no, don't do this, follow due process, and the speaker being the #1 legal person in the state, as a speaker, House of Assembly, you're not saying that the court won't stop you. So, are you not laying a good legacy?
Are you speaking for a case that is in court?
No. So, no. The point is this: that we must get it right as people and as citizens of this country. Now, for Ondo State as an example, that the presence of the governor was not on ground, and the acting governor does not have that capacity to actually carry out some certain things, has put the state backward among its counterparts. Nothing is happening. Development is not ongoing for the past 3 months in Ondo State. So it is painful to the citizens that some cartel are just fighting a dirty fight that is affecting the people.
So do you think that this is rather political?
It is political. There's no way to paint it. I have spoken to those I can speak with. We have been on phone, we have been on engagement. A friend was on press conference yesterday. He did a press conference saying that the State Assembly should be allowed to do their work. Nobody is stopping the State Assembly. Now, they have actually requested that the Attorney General should set up a panel to investigate him. Now, it is not the responsibility of the Deputy Governor to subject himself to invitation. If they invite him whatsoever he know about the allegation, he will go and answer. If he's found wanted, people like us will tell him, we'll call him on phone and send him text message, or God, leave that office, you've messed up.
Because I had asked this question because we have the same a similar situation happening in those states, and
but there are two different cases.
Of course,
there are two different cases. This one, there are cartels, you understand, making the move, not the governor himself.
We keep wondering, why is it that governors always have issues with their deputies? Don't you do a very deep search and thoughts?
A deputy just figureheads, or there is a power like
they have assigned roles professionally?
Yes, just like the vice president has an assigned portfolio. agency under the deputy governor, not the same way the vice president has. But the truth is this, that when you have some persons that are very powerful around the governor, some of the time they submerge the activities of the DGov. They submerge the activities of the deputy governor, and this has really a kind of when you have an intellectual deputy governor, you understand, but because he's not allowed to shine, to actually exhibit those things that he has in him as a content that could bring up the glory of the state, then you get to discover that such a person will be incapacitated. All right, and this affected even the vice president.
We have just 2 more minutes. Okay. Let's talk about what you think of the new CBN governor, Yemi Cardoso.
Yes, the new CBN governor, we know he's going to perform. Some of us have checked his profile, and we believe that if with all his responses to the questions he was asked in the floor of the Senate yesterday, if he's going to actually put them to practice, if he's actually going to work. You see, the first thing is to see what he could do from his end to kind of discourage the use of cash dollar in Nigeria. You see, we can, when Emefiele came with the new Naira policy of, what do we call it, sir? This cashless policy, yes, then we can also make dollar cashless in Nigeria. So, and that would reduce the gravity of the strength of dollar in Nigeria. In fact, do you know that people now appreciate dollar more than our own currency?
Because it's currently selling for 1,000 plus.
So it is wrong. It is wrong. You cannot appreciate Naira in US. It is impossible. So that means we are degrading what we have, our own value. That is the interpretation. So the new CBN governor should see it from that dimension, that cashless policy should also affect dollar in Nigeria. Those that are doing business, let the dollar be cashless. So now it will also reduce all these people along the road that sell the dollar, because these are people that inflate it. So but when it is cashless, it goes a very long way to actually assist and help and support us.
Well, very thoughtful of you to come to the studio to share this knowledge with us. We really do appreciate. Thank you very much. And those for you viewers who have called to contribute to the show, we really say a lot of thank you. Although we couldn't pick some of your calls, but sure we will tomorrow, same time, same station, because we are out of time, so we have to go. Many thanks for joining us on the first this beautiful morning. And now I'm going to say my name. I am Victoria Agbi.
And thank you so much for joining us. I am Olamide Alhassan. Have a great celebration. Bye for now.
Bye.